Very good evening, students. Very good evening, everyone. So, first of all, I welcome each one of you to my class on the Indian Penal Code 1860. So, let's start with my brief introduction first. My name is Sandeep Khatri. These are my areas of specialization, as you can see on this screen. Here is the link of my profile, Unacademy profile. So, make sure you follow that to get all the updates about my special classes and my plus courses. Here is the link of my Telegram channel where you can connect with me and ask your questions and queries. At last, I have mentioned my code, that is Khatri10, which you can use to get free access of all the special classes available on Unacademy app. So this was about me. Now I request everyone, please be attentive, and this is going to be an interactive session. And by interactive session, I mean, students, the moment you feel you are not clear with anything, feel free to ask questions. Before starting the class, I have one important announcement that I have covered all these 9 special laws in my special law series, which is available in special class, that is completely free of cost. So if you are facing difficulty in any of these subjects, you can refer my special classes on that. I have already completed all these acts one by one in the explanation class as well, and all the important MCQ sessions as well. Now, coming to this class, before starting this session, a new topic, that is abatement, section 107 and 108, section 108A, section 109, section 114. These are all the sections which I am going to discuss today. But before starting with these concepts, if you still have any queries from the topics which we have already covered, so this is your time to ask questions. So anything, if you want to ask, please. Very good evening, Pooja, and everyone, those of you who have just joined. Yes, any questions, problems? Okay, then. So I'm starting with a new topic. So let's start with a brief introduction. And this is I'm going to do with the help of a very simple example. So let's assume there are 3 persons, Mr. A, Mr. B, and Mr. C. Now, A is the one who abet B to commit an offense, that is of murder. Now, how A can abet B? The abatement can be in the form of instigation. Instigation here means any kind of provocation. Conspiracy. And the final third one is your intentional aiding. So basically, if we talk about this concept that Mr. A abet Mr. B, that can be done in 3 forms. The very first one is instigation, which means provocation, or A and B basically conspire with each other that how B can kill C. So that is conspiracy. And the third part is intentional aiding. Now, aiding in the case of murder can be providing him the gun, the bullets, the car, the cash, or all the things through which B can murder C. So A in my example is basically abetting B to commit murder of C. Now students, if B committed murder of C, then B will get the punishment under section 302, that is of murder. But what about A? What about A? Can you punish Mr. A under section 302, that is of murder? And then the answer is no. Why not? Because A has not committed the murder. So you cannot punish A under section 302. Now the second question comes here in that should we punish Mr. A? And the answer is yes, because he is the one, he is the mastermind, he is the one because of whom C has killed. And that is why we do have a general principle, that is the concept of abatement, which we are going to apply. So this Mr. A will get the punishment for abatement of murder. So this is the simplest example I can give you of the concept of abatement. Any questions as of now? Anyone who is not clear with this example? Now, if you look this chart carefully, students, you can easily identify that these two are two independent transactions, which means in the red box, B is the one who is committing the offense, that is of murder of C, and in the purple box, A is the one who is committing the abatement. So, abatement of murder and murder are two independent offenses. That abatement has nothing to do with whether the offense of murder took place or not. Now let's take another example. A abet B for the offense of murder, but B for any XYZ reason, if is not committing the offense of murder, B will not get the punishment because B has not committed the murder. But what about A? Will A get the punishment of abatement? Answer is yes, A will get the punishment of abatement. Why? Because he has already done his part. Irrespective of the fact whether B has committed any offense or not, A will get the punishment of abatement. So that is the concept of your section 107, and there are three circumstances. The very first one is instigation, second one is conspiracy, and the third one is intentional aiding. Any questions till now? If it is all clear, quickly give me a thumbs up, then I'll raise some questions from section 107. Okay, if it is all clear, then just answer this question. Can Mr. A abet an offense after its commission? Yes, please. Yes or no? Can A abet an offense after its commission? Yes or no? And if you can answer with the reasons. Okay, Vinayak, just let me complete this question, and after that we will discuss some landmark judgments as well on abatement. Okay. Yes, anyone? Can A abet an offense after its commission? Anyone who likes to answer this? Okay, now I'm answering this question. Listen carefully, students. Abatement can be done before the commission of an offense, at the time of the commission of an offense, but not after the commission of an offense. Why not? Because once the offense has already committed, then you cannot abet that offense for obvious reasons. And if you are helping one person who has already committing an offense, if you are giving him shelter, if you are giving him food, if you are apprehending his arrest, in that case you are committing an offense under harbor. So that situation will fall under harbor, not abatement. I hope everyone is clear with this. Now coming to some judgments related to the concept of abatement. So how we can cover all these judgments. I'll just tell you the facts of the case, and on the basis of your knowledge of section 107 and 108, let first you decide, and after that we will see what the concerned High Court or the Supreme Court has to say on that particular case. So let me tell you the facts of a case. So as per to the facts, there is a bride and she committed suicide. Okay. And the reason for committing her suicide is because of cruel treatment. As per to the facts, there was cruel treatment, okay, by her husband and mother-in-law. Okay. And they actually are the ones who suggest the bride to, just end her life. Now, in that, if these are the facts of the case, and after that, the bride committed the suicide, now you tell me whether it is a case of abatement of suicide, yes or no. Answer in the comments. Yes, please, Vinayak. The name of this case is Pratima Dutt versus State of West Bengal, 1977, Calcutta High Court. Okay, Vinayak is saying no. Vinayak, please state your reasons. Why not? Why not? Yes. What about others? I'm repeating myself. The facts are easy. There is a bride who has committed suicide. And as per to the facts, the reason of her suicide is because there was cruel treatment from her husband and her mother-in-law. And they are the ones who suggest her to end her life. And after that, she committed suicide. Now, you need to decide whether it is a case of abatement of suicide, yes or no. Okay, now I'm answering this question, students. The answer is yes, it is a clear case of abatement. Now, how you can reach to the correct answer? The thing is, if the answer is yes, so abatement is, there is no case of conspiracy here. There is no case of intentional aiding. So this is the case of abatement by instigation. So the husband and the mother-in-law will get the punishment accordingly. This is a case of abatement under section 107. And name of the case, I have just told you, Pratima Dutt versus State of West Bengal, 1977, Calcutta High Court. If it is clear, Vinayak, I can move to the next case law. Done? Okay. Now I'm moving to the next case law. I'll again just tell you the facts of the case, and after that you need to answer whether it is a case of abatement or not. So first I am telling you some facts. There is a quarrel, a fight between husband and wife. The first fact, that there is a fight between husband and wife. Okay. Now during fight, the husband used abusive language. And as per to the facts of the case, this is something which is on record, I'm telling you, that the husband used this term to go and die. This is something which is in the inverted commas. The husband used this term during the fight. First he used abusive language, and then he passed this statement, to go and die. After that, once the fight gets over, the wife told the whole story to his brother. Okay. The wife told the whole story to her brother. And after 2 days, the wife committed suicide. Now, you need to decide whether it is a case of abatement or not. One more thing, let me clear this thing. Suppose the fight took place on 1st 2023. Then she told this whole story to her brother on 1st January 2023, and after 2 days, which is basically after 2 and 3rd, so on 4th of January 2023, she committed suicide. Now you need to decide whether it is a case of abatement or not. Yes, answer in the comments. Vinayak, yes, sir. Others? I hope the facts are clear to everyone. I'm repeating myself. There was a fight between husband and wife on 1st January 2023. During the fight, the husband used the abusive language and used this phrase to go and die. And then after the fight, when it gets over, the wife told the whole story of the fight to her brother, and after 2 days, she committed suicide. Now the question is whether there is abatement from husband's end or not. Now this judgment is again a landmark judgment. The citation of this case is Sanju versus State of MP 2002 Supreme Court. Now the Supreme Court says this is not abatement. Now coming to the reasons why not. The husband used that phrase to go and die. She committed the suicide because of that fight. And the reason is, students, the reason is that the fight took place on 1st January. Okay, this is not the exact dates. Okay. Uh, so the fight took on, let's suppose, on 1st of January. She told the whole story on the 1st January itself. But she committed suicide after 2 days, and this is the reasoning why this is not the case of abatement. Now, how can this be a big reason? The thing is, students, the Supreme Court stated here that instigation, the suicide must be direct result of the instigation. And usually it's an human tendency that once you get into the fight, okay, if suppose if the wife, committed suicide after the fight only, then you may say that it was because of the instigation from the husband. But after 2 days, because of that gap of 2 days, now I'm reading the exact words what Supreme Court says on this after 2 days. Supreme Court held that even if one accepts the prosecution story that the appellant did tell the deceased to go and die, that itself does not constitute the ingredient of instigation. Assuming that the deceased had taken the abusive language seriously, she had enough time, mark my words, she had enough time because of after 2 days here, in between to think over and reflect, and therefore it cannot be said that the abusive language which had been used by the appellant on 25th of July 1998 draw the deceased to commit suicide. Suicide by the deceased, that is by the wife, was not the direct result of quarrel taken place on so and so date, 25th July. I hope it's clear now. Yes, please. Do you want to discuss more judgments like this? Clear? Now Now let's discuss some other concepts in relation to this topic. Students, one of the most repeated question which you get in your exam is one of this illustration, and that is basically that if A has given some halwa to B and there is a poison mixed in that, and if B give that halwa to C and if C died, whether that is going to be a case of abatement or not. So the answer is yes, it's a complete case of abatement from A's end. But now the thing is, if suppose B is the minor one, okay, or you can say if the age of the B is suppose 5 years. Now the question is whether B will get the punishment. Now why B is doing all this? Because A is going to give him two pieces of chocolates. In that scenario, students, always do remember the B will get the defense under section 82. So if there is a defense of section number 82, whether it is for B or A, that person will get the defense. There can be situations where abatement can be done by 5-year-old. Okay, so let's take another example to understand that thing. So suppose the age of A is 5 years and he was playing cricket on a ground, and A gets into a fight, okay, with C, and after that A come to his big brother B, who is of suppose 20 years old, and he is like just kill C. Now if this B killed C, A will still get the defense under section 82, but B will get the punishment of murder. I hope this is clear to you. Now coming more concepts like this. Let's take another example. If suppose there is a person, Mr. A, and he abet to commit murder of Mr. X to B. Then B abet C. Then C abet D. And D abet E. And finally E is the one who has committed the murder of Mr. X. Now, in that scenario, E will get the punishment under section 302 because E is the one who has committed the murder. But now who all will get the punishment of abatement? So the answer here is all A, B, C and D. All A, B and C and D all will get the punishment as an abatement. Why? Because all are the abaters, irrespective of the fact whether they know each other or not. A abated B, so A will get the punishment of abatement. B abated C, so B will get the punishment. C abated D, so C will get the punishment of abatement. And D abated E, so D will also be held as an abater. So all will be held as an abater. Now coming to one more interesting circumstances. When it comes to the concept of jurisdiction, we usually go through with section 2, section 3 and section 4. Section 2 deals with the concept of intra-territorial jurisdiction. Section 3 deals with extraterritorial jurisdiction. Section 4 deals with extension of extraterritorial jurisdiction. The key formula to answer all the questions in relation to jurisdiction is we need to see where is the place where offense has been committed. And that is one of the most important question while deciding cases in relation to section 2, 3, 4, which is where the offense has been committed. Let's take an example. If the offense has been committed within India itself, whether it is by a foreigner or Indian citizen, that person will get the punishment under section number 2. IPC will be applicable on him. If the offense has been committed in USA, New York suppose, but now the person has returned to India and he's an Indian citizen, then he will be liable under section number 3. And if the offense has been committed in a ship that has been registered in India, that the IPC will be again applicable to him as per to section number 4. But now, if you look at this particular situation where there is Mr. A who is suppose in New Delhi, sorry, who is in New Delhi, and he called Mr. B who is in New York to commit murder of C who is again in New York. Now the thing is whether IPC will be applicable on Mr. A. Whether IPC will be applicable on Mr. A. And the answer is yes. We do have a specific provision for this, students, that is section 108A. So section 108A makes Mr. A liable completely for the abatement, even in the cases when the abatement is outside this country. Now why? Why not? Like, what is the why we are punishing Mr. A? He is abating an offense outside the territory of India, but still IPC is applicable on him, and we are punishing him because of the international laws. Because we as a country don't support terrorism. This is one of the example of terrorism. So if a country is not punishing a person who is abetting offense outside their country, okay, so then the tag of terror as a terrorism will be labeled on that country. So that is why Mr. A will be, and there is a specific clause, there is an amendment basically, okay, section 108. I hope everyone is clear with this. If you do have any questions, you may ask. Now coming to the last topic of this class, and that is abatement as a general principle, and then whatever offense that has been abated, that is again an independent offense. But now the question is, what if the abater is present and actively participating in committing the offense? Then in that case, that will no longer be an abatement. All the essentials of section 34 will be fulfilled, and we will call that abater has basically committed that offense and will be punished under section 34. Now where all this concept has been written, that is your section 114. If the abater is present, actively participate in committing the offense, he is the one who has committed that offense. He is no longer just an abater. So that is your section 114. As far as the punishment of abatement is concerned, you can divide the whole concept of punishment of abatement into two parts. The very first one is section 109. That is your general provision, and then there are some specific provisions on punishment of abatement starting from section 115 till section 120. So that was your abatement. So students, this is the link of my profile, my Telegram channel, and this is my code Khatri10. Let's crack PCSJ with Unacademy. Now I have some important announcements to make. The first one is about the upcoming batches. There is a regular linking course batch which has already been started from January 26th. Then there is a rapid revision for Uttarakhand Judiciary which has already been started from Feb 1st. Rapid revision for West Bengal Judiciary already started from January 23rd. We have an exciting announcement, students, that there is an open AIBE mock test, All India Bar Exam 2023, that is going to be on Feb 3rd at 11 a.m. And there is going to be 50% scholarship on 6 months and above subscriptions. The judiciary notes are now available, students, for all the Unacademy students. There is a price hike which is coming soon from Feb 1st. If you are preparing for UP Judiciary or Chhattisgarh Judiciary, we do have a full length mock test series for you. For UP Judiciary, it is starting from 3rd Feb. The next test is on the 5th Feb and so on the 7th of Feb. And there is only a very minimum amount. Similar on Chhattisgarh Judiciary, there is 5 full length mock tests starting from 6th Feb till 18th of Feb. So that's it from my end. See you in my next class. Till then, yes, it's time to say peace.